Do y'all want to get into some player props? Bryce Young over under passing yards 313.5. Under?
Over. Yeah, because
not like I'm dying to bet it, but
yeah, like I remember in like the first game, it was at like 260 something. It was the easiest damn bet I'd ever made in my life. But I just feel like if Alabama wins this game, Bryce Young had a good game. If Alabama's losing this game, Bryce Young's throwing a lot.
Yeah, it's where it is where Alabama has shown Alabama can get Georgia. So even if they're losing, they're going to have to find ways to move the ball. I'm kind of with you. I think I go over. What about Danny? You feel confident in that under? Is that going to make your final?
No,
sheet?
that was my play. I wouldn't actually play it, but I think the loss of Mechie's big. Like I want to see, and I do think there's got to be adjustments made. Like what would be the number that you would take the under? Like how high would it have to go if it was 343?
330. Like, add another 15 yards. I start to think about it, just because then that's when we're talking about in a modern college football game, in an offense like Alabama runs, you catch a lot of like 325, a lot of 319, 317. I think if we started sniffing 350, that's where it seems a little bit too high for me. What about Stetson Bennett over under 244.5?
I would take. All right, I don't know. I found it at 249.5 somewhere else. I would go under 249.5.
But not 244?
It's 5 yards, baby.
Go over on either.
Over on both?
Both these teams, when they play each other, they throw the ball a lot more than normal.
Because they can't run the balls effectively.
Look at the 4 matchups. Exactly.
I will take the over 20.5 on James Cook's receiving yards. That was easy money in the last game too.
So he basically needs one big catch or a couple swings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's probably fair.
What's Bowers? Do we have Bowers receiving total?
Let's see.
We do 75.5.
Oh, I see a book where it's at 59.5.
I mean, I would take the over on that one, 59.5 all day long, and I probably would take it on the other one.
On 75?
Yeah, I think so. The dude's a stud, man. He's been the MVP of this offense.
I mean, in the first game, he had what? Let's see. He had 10 catches for 139.
Yeah. And I'm not going that high, but
that's the thing, too. Like, that's probably where Alabama's going to look to adjust. They're going to be like, all right, well, we'll take that guy away, and then we'll see if Burton, McConkey, Pickens, and all these other guys can do anything. But that's another reason why I kind of like the James Cook.
What about for the Brian Robinson rushing yards? I'm currently looking at a 65.5.
Oh, we were talking that before we came on. I'm like, whatever it is, hit the under.
This
and
is
then
why
I heard it. I'm like, wait a second.
This is why you got to shop around, because there's another book where Brian Robinson's rushing total is at 85.5.
I like the under on that one.
So let's just middle all these things.
Yeah, Coco chiming in the chat that the Bryce Young over/under passing yards in the SEC title game was anywhere from 259 to 276.
Wait, yeah, Tom, private chat, or who has 85 for Brian Robinson?
Okay.
Or can we just say it? Oh, I mean they're a U.S. book. We can mention them, I think.
Yeah.
DraftKings.
DraftKings. Yeah, 185 for sure.
Hammer that. Of course, we always support Caesars William Hill, and you should too. But that's an opportunity. And we always
support the consumer first.
Yeah. So interesting note about the rushing attack. Alabama, not especially compared to Georgia, and just in general, not a lot of explosive runs. Georgia had 23 runs of 20-plus yards on the season. Alabama just had 13. Go to 30-plus yards. Georgia had 10. Alabama just had 3. So when you're thinking about those Brian Robinson rushing yards, and we mentioned it earlier with the passing yards to Cook, at least based on what we've seen from the season, it's not like you're going to get one B-Rob run where he's going to get 30, 40 yards and all of a sudden have you sweating. At least that's not been the way that it has been so far. What about for the rushing yards for the Georgia backs? So we got Zeus, Zamir White at 53.5. James Cook at 42.5.
I would lean over.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I feel like Cook's going to be used more as a receiving threat in this game more than anything, and I feel like there's more value on that because I don't know. Yeah, I'd probably still go over. Trying to see where else.
I think Zamir White can get you that breakdown. Somebody takes the wrong gap, something doesn't work, and all of a sudden he's got like a 30-yard run that gets you more than halfway of where you need to go. And then the rest of it comes on the other 19 carries that he's probably going to have in this game.
See, I'm trying to.
What's the number on Zeus again? 52?
53.5.
Yeah, but again, at DraftKings, it is at 40.
I would go under on 53. Okay.
This is my favorite part of like the props for college football games is that there is such a wide variance from book to book.
The thing is, they don't really take big bets on this, right? So there's no, like, as a company, there's no reliability for them setting bad player prop odds, because if they entice you to deposit with them and you bet it, what's the max you're going to lose on it? Like $500? Hell, some of these places even let you parlay this stuff. Which
that's the thing. Like, these are mostly
pretty correlated if you think about it.
For these books, most of these things exist for like their same game parlay stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is never going to win for you in the long run.
And you'll lose it back to them on other bets anyway, even if you do happen to be sharp on these.
Jameson, we already talked about Jameson Williams, right? 115.5.
I say under.
I
think they're going to help more. They got to come up with a better plan. He can't torch him again.
I go under as well.
Yeah, part of my Alabama pick is also confidence in
that they will do it again.
Confidence in Ja'Cory Brooks. Confidence that they've got players that are ready to step up and be able to be a real difference maker in this game. In which case, maybe Jameson Williams does go under. And
so would you take Ja'Cory Brooks over 37.5 then, Chip?
37's a big number. But yeah, I think I would. What's Slade Bolden touchdown anytime?
Let me check. See if I can find one.
I think that might be the go-to play right there.
Slade Bolden. I don't think they have that yet on here, but let me see what they have on the other one. Can I just say the names? FanDuel.
Yeah. I'm looking at Slade Bolden touchdown anytime at FanDuel at plus 190. I wish I could get more than that. I think I would rather have the Ja'Cory Brooks plus 260 at that point.
Or you can first touchdown score for Slade Bolden at, why is this taking forever? At plus 1,300. So he scored the first touchdown against Cincinnati.
Pass.
I got any time touchdown score on Brooks
is
plus 260. Or wait, you wanted Slade Bolden? 190.
Yeah, I would say I would almost rather have Brooks for the value there, because I think that you got about an equal chance of either one of them being able to get it done in the end zone.
I mean, I would parlay Jameson Williams yards under with touchdown no, if I can find a yes no prop on that. Simply with the idea that he's not a great red zone threat, and you figure those are kind of correlated, right? Like his score is likely to be longer, and if he has a longer score, he's going to hit his yardage prop.
Any other general any other like player props that stand out to you, or just a way that you would approach it, as we're seeing 25 15 10 15 25 yards of difference in some of these. Any other players that you would target based on a theory on the way this is going to play out?
Wouldn't mind a Washington touchdown prop. He caught one in the first game.
He is at plus 650.
Woo! It's a big body.
I mean, it's basically the only targets he gets are in the red zone if they have them. So it's very specific. I don't think that's great value on it, but I would consider it.
Would you play Javon Baker at plus 1,000? I'm thinking about it, because Nick, if in the pregame for the semifinal, he was like, "Hey, what are you going to do without John Mechie?" And Nick's like, "Well, we need some guys like Javon Baker to step up." I've seen Javon Baker in recruiting camps. Maybe this is way too inside baseball, or maybe this is fun for the listener. I don't know. But like, he's a guy who fights for the ball very well. I think he could be a guy they could use in the red zone to replace Mechie. And he's also from Georgia. So betting on the guy, from the home state to show out against the opponent.
Lad McConkey plus 350 touchdown anytime.
He caught one in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
Only had 2 catches, but one of them was a touchdown.
What about live approach? Anything that you would see that would trip you off and have you start unloading based on the action on the field?
Like you were saying, you're talking about Bama alt lines. I mean, if it goes Georgia 10-0, like start just
Bama.
Find out what the money line is on Bama at that point, right?
Betting Georgia when Bama gets into the red zone would be one.
Because the number, the number's going to jump in a way that, just by getting into the red zone, it's going to jump in Alabama's favor, thinking that they're scoring a touchdown. But Georgia's got one of the best red zone defenses in the country. They might not score a touchdown. So however many points that changes, that's what you're trying to go for.
Yeah, correct. And then, betting Bama after Georgia runs on 2nd and 10, just the idea that Bennett is not really very good on 3rd down.
To be fair, though, he doesn't get a lot of opportunities.
That's true. He only had a couple games this year where his average 3rd down distance was greater than 6.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was
practice makes perfect.
Yeah, it was Tennessee, Alabama, and then I think Vandy. If they're not in situations where the defense has to respect the play action, he's not very good.
Mm-hmm.
So,
which is why I think you need to hit explosive plays on early downs with him. So if I can find Georgia longest score over, I want to hit that. Is that a game prop available yet?
Not so insane.
By the way, we'll be able to play this game. Well, I'll be in Indy, so I can actually bet there, right?
Yes. They actually have Circa at Indy, which is nice.
Just picture Danny and I in the press box on Monday, just live betting everything.
Yes, every series.
Yeah,
every pass.
That's what we need. We need the We'll just set up a YouTube live stream of the two of y'all in the press box with your live bets.
Tom's got one side loaded up. Danny's got the other side. As soon as he result of the play, he's ahead of the
just
computer.
Doing the middle. Arbitrage in the cover 3 arbitrage in Lucas Oil Stadium.